In 1935, the United States was just beginning to recover from the Great Depression. Franklin D. Roosevelt was president, and the Social Security Act was signed into law. Bread was only 9 cents a loaf, and you could buy a brand new car for $500. Mutiny on the Bounty, starring Charles Laughton and Clark Gable, was the box office hit, and songs like On the Good Ship Lollipop, sung by Shirley Temple, and Cheek to Cheek from the musical Top Hat, starring Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers, were playing on cathedral console radios. 1935 was also a booming time for the credit union movement. Like many credit unions during this time, the origin of Warner Gear Credit Union was quite informal. The credit union was started in early 1935 by James Logan. Mr. Logan kept the funds on deposit in a cigar box. He kept the cigar box in his kitchen, completing simple transactions at his kitchen table. Workers that wanted to join the credit union had to deposit a share to establish membership. All deposits were recorded on a tally sheet. If a member wanted to borrow from the box, they signed a simple promissory note to pay back the loan with weekly installments. The small credit cooperative soon began to flourish. The cigar box was chartered as Warner Gear Employees Federal Credit Union on July 30th, 1935. Through the years, the credit union continued to grow. The main office was located at Warner Gear's Plant 1 on Seymour Street. Credit union staff would also go to the Kilgore plant during the lunch hours to cash checks, take deposits, and make withdrawals. In 1977, the credit union relocated their main office to the Kilgore plant. They purchased a Cushman cart so staff could collect members' paychecks on payday. The checks would be picked up at various spots throughout the plant and taken back to the credit union. The checks would be cashed, and then the cash would be returned to each member, all within a few hours. The following year, in 1978, the credit union reached $10 million in assets. At this time, John Hess was the president of the board of directors, and Bill Yoler was the treasurer. This milestone represented tremendous growth for the credit union in their first 43 years. In the early 1980s, Congress amended the Federal Credit Union Act to allow credit unions to offer share drafts to their members. Many credit unions jumped at this opportunity, and Warner Gear Credit Union was no exception. In May of 1981, we posted our first share draft accounts on the books. 1985 was another rewarding year for the credit union. With a goal of continued service to its members, WGE broke ground on a new main office building located at 3700 West Bethel Avenue. The new building not only offered more space for support staff, but also more flexibility to offer additional services. 1985 was not only a time to celebrate growth for WGE, but another anniversary was celebrated to mark 50 years of service to credit union members. The cold January weather of 1992 didn't stop the Mayor of Muncie, Board of Directors, and staff from attending the groundbreaking ceremony of the new Southside WGE branch, now located at 3230 South Madison. The growth and success of WGE can be attributed to the many dedicated volunteers that have served the credit union over the last 70 years. WGE's longest-serving volunteer was William H. Yoler. Bill first became a volunteer in 1944 and served for 57 years. In addition to Bill's tireless dedication to the credit union, he was also very active as a civic and social volunteer. It seemed that he always had the time and energy to help someone else. In 1994, WGE Federal Credit Union held a special 50th anniversary to celebrate Bill and his 50 years of service to the credit union. About 4 years ago, after Bill's death, the credit union established a scholarship in his name. The goal of the scholarship is to recognize a student who shows concern for others through their own volunteer efforts. What better way to honor Bill and to further the credit union's philosophy of people helping people? In the year 1999, WGE offered yet again more conveniences to its members, with the building of a new branch located on the northeast side of Muncie. This beautiful office building is located at 4018 North Broadway. Yes, it was time to celebrate again in 2002, and in a big way. WGE celebrated yet another exciting and monumental milestone by reaching $100 million in assets. We're continuing to focus on our future while not forgetting our past. Happy anniversary, WGE, where people are worth more than money.